What is up, everybody?
Hey, hey.
There we are.
Give you a thumbs up. Yeah, I just minimized the chat on my side. And we are all set.
Okay. Hey, everybody.
And
Hey,
now I just
Colby.
got the notification you just went live.
Okay, cool. How's it going,
Hey,
Colby?
Colby
I,
didn't answer me back yet.
oh, I was in a tutorial with Dea, so welcome everybody that comes in. Thank you for coming in. If you're going to spend the evening or the afternoon with me until David Dog goes live.
Let me put I'm gonna put it out there that you are live right now on my community tab.
Okay. Thank you. See,
You're
that's
welcome.
something else I need to learn how to do too.
Yeah, basically you copy the YouTube link on the
Yeah.
live, and then you go over to you open up a window and you go over to your community tab that's on your page,
Yeah.
and you post it and say, "Hey everyone, come on out and hang out with Devil Dog or DJ or whoever.
Okay.
Here's the link to their live. Come and join in the fun.
Okay. Cool.
Whatever you want to say."
All right. Oh. While we're waiting on people to come in, see if I can show you this desk. I was trying to find. I thought I had another cutter,
Uh-huh.
and check out. Let's see here. Now I'm going to make myself big. Can you see these little guys?
Oh yeah, they're so cute.
Um, but that's in the kit. This is the die,
Okay.
and that's one of the dies. At least I think it's one. Yeah. And here's one of the others.
Oh, that's adorable.
But anyway, you can actually that is the same die, so that must go in the other set. I don't know how I ended up with two of them, but and you get these cute little papers. Let's see here.
Oh my goodness, that's adorable.
Let's see here.
Look at all that. That's adorable.
I don't know if you can see them clearly. They're two-sided too, so you've got the back and the
Buffalo
front.
plaid. Yep. That's what my theme was for a while with the buffalo plaid in my house.
Yeah. And there you got solids and you got prints. But he
Very
looks
cute.
real cute if you do him in that buffalo plaid.
Yeah.
There's your
Green buffalo
calendar.
plaid. Oh, that's cool.
But anyway, you got different papers and an envelope, red envelope. Let's see here. Known for the holidays. And here are some of the things that you can do with it. Let's see, we'll do
Oh, that's
it.
adorable.
Can you see those okay?
Yeah.
Okay. See, on mine, it looks dark. See,
I like the
little,
little gingerbread house. That's
yeah,
adorable.
yeah. Let's see what we have in here. These are solid cardstocks. But there's a gray envelope, a red envelope, a white envelope. Oh, here you go. You get stencil.
Oh, that's adorable.
So anyway, that's one of the things I'm gonna pop in. Oh, also, you get these cute little guys right here, and you pop one to the card and one side to the card and one to him, and it's a
Yeah.
spring. It's not just a
It's
dimensional, but I mean he'll move. You
oh,
flip
that's
him.
wild. You flick it when he moves. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but
Okay. I just posted you. That's very cute.
I know it's hard for people to come in not exactly knowing what I'm doing live, but anyway, thought we'd we give it a shot,
There you go.
even though we're learning. If nothing else, me and you and Colby can sit here and talk.
That's right. If he ever comes back, Colby. All right. So yeah.
Let me show you too. This. See if I can find one. This is a Gemini Mini. Okay. Hey Matt, what's happening?
Hey Matt, welcome, honey.
Thank you for coming in. But anyway, you could take that die right there and you could put it inside this envelope with the paper and put it through here, wrangle it through, and it'll cut it.
Oh, neat.
So I gotta see if I can find you either a mini or a midi. I looked on Crafter's Companion before I come on, and it was, they've got one on sale, but it's $79, and with shipping and thing, it was $95, and I couldn't do that at this.
No, don't even.
I'm gonna see if I can find one on what do you call that? Facebook Marketplace.
Oh. What do you call that, Temu? No, not that.
No. Well, you might find those on Temu cheap. Very cheap.
Yeah.
How's it going, Matt? You doing okay this evening? I hope you heard my message I told you the other night.
I shut off my phone.
Okay.
Jan's still coming through. Hold on a second. Oh. That's so funny. My phone was off. There we go.
Working in the shop. Cool.
Nice. I hope it's not too hot for y'all.
That's what I started saying. Are you hot or are you cool? He's good. Have y'all heard from Ryan yesterday or today?
I did. He's got family in town, and we're not going to hear from him for a little while. But if we need him, we can reach out. There's a personal reason, and I'm not going into it. I promised him I would not.
No problem.
But he says if we need him, I can message him, or Matt can message him. So.
Okay. Not a problem. Not a problem.
It's a little warm. We were like 106 yesterday and 106 earlier, and then a storm was brewing, and then the storm kind of mellowed out. So that's good.
It's not been too bad here today.
Yeah, we're supposed to get really bad storms, but so far it rained for a little bit, a flash of lightning, and that's all we got on this side of town. But now, if I've talked to somebody on the other side of town, it might be a lot more. You know what I mean? Do you have weather set up on your Nightbot?
Yep.
Oh, good. Ooh, temperature's 100? Holy moly.
Gosh.
Hi, Molly.
Hi,
and that's
Molly.
not even including the heat index. Oh my goodness.
Heavens. Let's see what it is here.
I'll wait for you to kick in before I do mine. I have it waiting in chat to hit enter when you're said.
Okay. Lord, I think I have Satan's fly in here again.
Uh-oh.
81, 40%, 47% humidity. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad.
Terry and I were sitting out back last night, and I said, it is actually bearable. I mean, it was really nice. I gotta go get the fly swatter. This thing's bugging me.
Go get your fly swatter. All right, let's see what mine is. The humidity is low, which 100 with the humidity is low is so much better than the 116. I mean 106, 110. Let me see what we got right now from that after that storm came through. We dropped down to 77 degrees. That's awesome. We were like up in the 90s, then it went to like 82, and now it's 77. But the humidity is 88 only because we've been getting rain. DJ finally gave in to us getting him his watch hours.
I think he knows he had no alternative.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No.
No, her birthday's Wednesday. I'm gonna go out tomorrow. Gonna hit
Oh,
go and get one. Usually I just wish her. There he
I
is.
bet
There's a
you.
youngin. He's now
Hey, bestie.
Colbs on your channel, youngin on mine. I gotta
Fine.
put a note on my thing. Oh my gosh. Rebecca,
Hey, besties.
How's it going?
get
It's a
card.
going.
If it wasn't raining right now, I'd have my friend take me down and get her a card, but it's raining right now, so
And hey,
Well,
I don't
guys.
go anywhere.
I'll have to see if I have one already made. Hey, Cole, how's it going? Thank you for coming in.
Hey
Appreciate
Cole.
it.
Hey, Cole.
You been doing good? I hope.
How's
And
my
it's not
besties doing?
doing great.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me turn on the volume on my tablet here. Not too bad. Just been chilling today. Still recuperating from yesterday. Oh my gosh. I got up this morning at 7:31. That's late for me. Sat in
Ooh.
my chair, did a couple of things. Next thing you know, my son's grabbing my arm, going, "Mom, it is like quarter to 12." I fell asleep in this chair until quarter to
Oh
12.
my gosh, girl.
Then after I got off the phone with you, I started doing off the phone, off the live with DJ. I started doing this. D. I'm like,
Do
Oh,
you need some
no.
coffee?
I think I need more than coffee. Let me tell you, the coffee is not helping. I've had 2 cups today, and I'm still like, "Whew, I want to go to sleep."
Isn't Dee putting you to sleep now?
No, did not. She did not put me to sleep. I was waiting for her to come in, and the weather kicking in. You know how gray weather does that to you when it's rainy. You get tired.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
being out, it was 106 in the shade, and Dothan, when they were in the botanical garden, they went walking through the garden. I stayed out in the driveway where the hot tar is, in my power, and not sorry, not power chair. I don't have one in my wheelchair, with a bottle of water and a glass of ice.
Ooh,
I didn't want to do the botanical because I wasn't sure if they'd be walking on grass and everything else, and with my wheelchair, and so.
yeah.
And then the mosquitoes were rampant, so I definitely was glad I did not do the walk.
I'm allergic to mosquitoes.
Yeah, I'm a buffet table, so yeah. I mean, I've got one, I got 3, I got 2 bites here, one on my index finger here, one on my thumb here, one right here, one in the back of my leg, all within 2 days.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah,
Well,
so
let's see.
yeah, and then I scar like crazy too. So me and mosquitoes, we have a love-hate relationship. They love me and I hate them. Hey DJ,
What up,
Hey.
DJ?
I feel like I haven't seen you in forever, dude.
No.
Oh, my gosh. Des.
I
Hey,
know.
DJ.
I was on his live earlier.
I know I was on there with y'all for a minute
I
till my
know. Can I have
phone.
a little bit of fun? Want a
Uh,
little bit of fun? Tease him a
here's
little.
a here's one I made Terry for our anniversary. Let me bring it
DJ's
up.
in the basement.
I got you. Okay,
Hey,
I done, John.
can I make something clear real quick? The
Can you what?
Make something clear real quick.
Yes.
the only alternative I had for something getting my hours was a drastic alternative that I'm not planning to do for years.
Uh-oh.
I
What is
think
it?
I think you could guess what that would be.
What?
A drastic alternative?
What is the one thing I could do to stop y'all from kidding me?
shutting down your channel.
Yes.
Don't you even think about it.
Jay?
Why do you think I gave in there?
Don't you dare shut
No.
down that channel.
Yeah.
Nah, you work too hard.
Yeah.
11 years worth of hard work. And
That's,
all of us watching your channels, don't you dare. Let me see that channel. I mean that card. Oh, that's so cute.
nice.
I'm trying
I
to find
love
her
it.
Rebecca birthday card. Oh, look at this one. Very merry.
Hmm.
Aw, I like that with the light bulbs.
It's
Yeah.
on
Yeah, with the
dimensionals.
pop out. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Nice.
And here's my ugly sweater.
That sweater is actually cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
I swear I thought I made birthday cards, but I think all I said was thank you and
Maybe you did use one. I did do it and you end up using them.
no. Believe it or not, I like to make them. I just don't like to send them out. Oh, here's a nice one. How about this?
Oh, that's
No.
sweet.
Nice.
She'd
Hmm.
enjoy a homemade card.
Well,
Yeah.
since she's not on here, look at that one.
Oh, that's really, really pretty.
I think I'll send her that one.
Cool.
Don't you
Just
still
say
have that
she's not on.
homemade?
Well, she hasn't said anything yet. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, Devil Dog. How's it going?
Bye.
Hurrah!
Bye, Devda.
Leave him alone.
Don't you still have that handmade card I made you, Des?
I
I'm
do.
not-
It's in
I'm
my
not
sticker album.
messing with him.
Everything that everybody sends me goes in my sticker album. So, all the little thank you cards,
Oh,
everything.
I like that one. I found it. And I ain't showed it yet either, so. Now if I can find an envelope. Envelope.
You'll find one.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, I always keep everything. Colby. It drives
good.
me everybody crazy in my family.
Eddie, come on up. Enjoy the party with us.
Yeah.
Hey Gary,
up,
come on.
Gary?
Hey Gary.
Oh no, I better run. Scary Gary's in the building.
Gary's in the building.
Let's get the
Oh,
party started.
That's right.
stop, Gary.
Hey,
Yeah.
Gary.
I have one. I'm in luck.
Yay. Otherwise you'll have to make one.
Let's see here. All right.
Good to see you, Gary.
That makes me happy. That makes me so happy. Y'all want to come up? Come on up. Join the party.
Yeah, she's got some room.
Yeah.
We don't bite.
I
can
pay for
hang-
my
You can
StreamYard.
hang out with Babyface.
I have to
buy
pay.
No. Babyface don't want to be messed with right now.
Oh, come on.
No.
You're so darn cute with that baby face.
Yeah, and I do buy Eddie.
I'm just messing with you, Gary.
I was going to say, it's my channel and I want you up here. So come on up. Be with us.
I'm just messing with you, Gary. You know I want to hang out with you.
Colby likes to mess with everybody, Gary. So come on up here and hang out with us.
Yeah.
Gary, he's like me, but a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, DJ, I guess.
That's a good compliment.
Yeah.
You're nicer than he is. Take it and run with it. Shoot,
Yeah.
I'm on his naughty list for channels.
Y'all wave. Eddie.
Yay!
Hey, Gary.
Hey, DJ.
Oh, you got to
Hey,
switch
Joe.
Gary and
Hey, Des.
DJ.
Hey, D.
Hey,
D.
Gary.
hold
Hey.
on to Gary's big image and slide him over to DJ.
Oh,
Oh, what'd you
no,
do? Did you just drop him down to the basement?
no. It's a
Oh.
mistake. So do I don't understand.
Okay.
Okay, D.
What?
Uh,
Ah,
No.
Drag and drop. Just drag, put the cursor on my picture, and then hold the thing button down and slide it over to where DJ's is, and then let go.
DJ,
And then let go.
Okay, I
D.
It's a drag and drop.
Okay, bear with me just a
Hold on.
second.
Hey,
Or better
D.
yet, let's do it with DJ and slide him over to where I'm at. That way, if somebody accidentally gets dropped off, it's DJ.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
See, now they're looking at each other.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, Eddie, would you wave at me or something so I can bring you up,
It's
please?
him. I'll tell you that it is him.
I mean, D. He,
That's Devil Dog.
Now
Okay.
swap me and Colby.
Why?
He wants to be up there with Devil Dog. Oh, never
Now
mind.
Oh.
take Devil Dog and bring him down. There we go.
Dang, you're
Hey.
teaching me all kind of good stuff today.
So that's how you slide everybody around and put them in positions.
Okay.
And now you got a full panel. Unless you
Yeah.
pay for the extra amount, then
You got paid for it.
He
Okay.
plays so they could have 4 more people on panel.
yeah. I didn't know if she paid or not, but I'm saying if she didn't, she's got a full panel. If she and then I said if she paid the amount, then she can add 4 more.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an interesting question because she does still have StreamYard up in the top of the thing, which
Yeah,
maybe she has the like the $10. If I had to guess, I'd say she probably has like a less expensive, but still paid, but a less expensive than
That's
the
what I have.
$10 version.
I have the
Yeah.
$10 that I
Yeah,
got
that's
through
what I was
mine,
thinking.
but I got everything, I guess.
Well,
just about.
you can usually
Except-
tell. You can usually tell by this symbol up here, right up
Yep.
above me.
Yep.
If there's nothing there, they're paying at least $25. If that duck is up there,
Yeah.
then it's a free version. If it's this one right here, typically that's going to be the $10 version.
Yeah.
And that's the version I have.
So
yeah. That's what I think me does, and a lot of us have to go pay the $25 like Gary and Eddie. Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
been working on some like thumbnails.
Cool.
Nice.
That's my next thing to learn how to do.
Well, I think Devil Dog's doing some. I think Devil Dog's doing, teaching a lot of stuff like that on his YouTube University thing.
Yeah, and
Devil Dog, you.
In fact, Devil Dog just helped me
Hi,
on a
Silver
couple of
Creek.
things.
Hello, Silver Creek Aquatics.
how
you doing?
Quick, Garcia.
Thank you
Hey,
for popping
Silver
in.
Creek Aquatics. I had to get in on it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no.
How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
Everyone,
How
how's the Robert De
you
Niro?
doing?
Robert De Niro say, "How you doing?" What is it? Oh, he says it really cool too.
Who, Retro?
No, Robert De Niro. I
Oh.
think it's Robert De Niro.
Yeah. How you doing?
What'd you want, DJ? You called me earlier. What'd you want?
I was just going to tell you that I was going to help you guys get my
Hey, Joy.
hours up.
Hello, Joy.
Hi,
Hey,
hi, Jimmy James Bailey.
Hey,
I
Jimmy
can't-
James Bailey.
I can't even see chat right now. Hold on.
Thank you all for coming in.
Yeah,
Okay.
hey, Jimmy James.
No, when me and Gary left over there, when we were talking, hey Joy, how you doing? Hoorah, hoorah to Scott. Anyways, when we were talking, when I came over here, I came and loaded it up, but I had to run to the restroom, had to get me some ice, had to talk to Jamie, and Jamie would be here today, but she's doing laundry and
Oh, that's
all that,
right.
all that stuff. So
That's cool.
she told me to tell you hi. She says she's sorry, but she's doing laundry and it's freaking hot in here. I mean, it is freaking killer. She checked the AC to see if it was froze up. And you
Yeah.
can even ask Gary a while ago. I told him I was sweating. I was sitting here at my desk sweating on my wrist and stuff like that. I don't know
Oh.
Silver Creek Aquatics, but hello.
Yeah, when Devil Dog begins sweating, you know it's bad.
Yeah, because I mean, I like hot weather. You know, I like it a lot better than cold. I can't stand the cold.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I was just
Oh,
talking.
I'm on the wrong thing too.
Yeah.
I am
DJ,
What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, D.
I am so glad to see Silver Creek Aquatics and Jimmy James Bailey Catfishing.
I
and
do not know.
Joy. I've not seen them either.
I don't
And
know
I'm-
either one of those.
I'm so glad that you all came in. I'm just the weirdo in the woods that keeps too many animals. Well, you're our kind of people then.
Maybe you should. Oh, I thought you were saying that.
You're a weirdo. You like the woods and you love animals. So hey, you're our kind of people.
Oh, you just saw his dog.
I'll be right back.
All right, cool.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm so glad everybody came in.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fix do Rebecca's card.
No.
Oh, look at I love your new area.
Yeah.
I was going to do some, I was playing with those green screen prints and was going to do some of my own pictures. There again, though, I haven't had time to do it yet. So maybe one of these days.
Yeah, I get you.
Here, I remember you telling. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you'll have to refresh my memory. I know where you're across the river. Are you close across the river to me? Didn't barely get it. Oh my. Let's see. Oh yeah, you're down there where Devil Dog is. Oh, okay. Yeah, you are right across the river. Nice. Well, I am so glad you came in.
Yeah.
And meet all the funny people that we get in here and all my friends.
Funny? Okay.
Yeah, it was 98 degrees here, but the heat index was 108. So, I mean,
Oh my.
Yeah.
What is
right? Yeah, it still says it's 98 degrees here. Gracie, hush, come here. Here. You don't want to come down there. Okay. I'm done with her.
All right. Cool.
all right. Well, yeah. That is so cool.
No, it's hot.
Yeah. Well, no, Jimmy James Bailey Catfishing is across the river from me. And I do mean like across the river.
Do I like Jimmy John's? Jimmy John's pizza?
Well, Jimmy Jones does have some good pizza.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
Or no, not Jimmy John's, Papa John's. Isn't Jimmy John's the sub place?
Did you do that? Did you move my light? Leave my light alone.
Was like Gracie.
Oh my Lord.
Stop it.
Silver Creek Aquatics says it's 102. He lied. Or are you Are you male or female? So I know whether to say he or she.
Mm.
Wow. I'm gonna tell you, me and Jimmy James is blessed right now.
Nice.
No way near as hot as you all.
Yeah, definitely. Mm.
Dang it. Where's my glues? Where's my glues? Pardon me a minute. I'm trying to find some glue.
All right, take your time.
We're here.
I wouldn't trust
We're
DJ.
here.
If he said take your time, he's probably up to something, D.
Probably.
Nah, that's only with you, Eddie.
Whatever, DJ. What's Des doing?
There's
Don't know.
You know, I was hi Des. I was trying to do work, but Gary was distracting me, so I didn't get nothing done.
It happens. Okay. I'm all that is man. Okay. Well, thank you, sir. Now I can call you he. I'm gonna have to get some pins in this place. Oh,
Girl, why are you panting? I know it's hot, but I tried to get you to come down, lay down by the vent, and you wouldn't do it. Come here. You won't run away from me.
Tell that little girl get her some snuggles.
We're gonna fight. We'll fight. Come here.
She's mouthy like mine to her daddy.
Come here. Right now. Hey. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Yeah, well, Daddy is also naughty as well.
This
For
whole time,
you folks that are new, wait a minute, I gotta bring that beautiful baby dog up.
oh, Gracie.
Huh.
Hey, Gracie. Hi, baby
Are you hot?
girl.
Are you
I
hot?
don't blame you. I'm hot too. How you doing? I finally figured out who said it, and it's not Rob De Niro. It's Joey from Friends.
Oh yeah, how you doing?
How
Yeah,
you doing?
Gracie,
yeah.
Gracie,
Gracie.
Look at Thank you.
Hey, Gracie.
Gracie.
Gracie, want a treat?
Oh, look at that cute
Hey,
smile.
Gracie.
You're just a beautiful girl.
see, we're all nuts for animals, so
She's
don't.
smiling. She is a happy camper.
Yeah,
Yes,
very
it
good.
is.
Look
Can
how
you say hi to
happy you are, beautiful girl.
Hey, sweetheart.
You hear me?
For
She's
you
so
guys that are
cute.
new in here or fairly new, if you want to hit type in Faith FAITH or HITW, it'll drop your link. Those that are not sub to you, I'm sure they'd be happy to. Gracie, that
Hi,
baby
honey.
girl, that baby girl.
Her eyes are like wandering, like, okay, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah. Where's that coming from? Where's it
Yep,
coming?
I can't see nobody.
Whatever y'all were saying, she could hear, and she was just listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
We were talking and saying how beautiful she is and what a pretty smile she
I
has.
asked her
Yeah.
if she wanted a treat.
Oh, of course you did.
You didn't respond, though, so she must not want one.
Yep.
She knows your voice, Gary.
Well, I hope so.
She's a good girl.
She was probably ignoring you, like we all of us. You can take me off
Joy. Joy's like, if I type Faith, I burst into flames. Then type in HITW. You'll be safe.
my phone?
You're too funny.
My phone. Yeah.
Too funny.
Gracie's a good girl.
I just want to take that face and just kiss it. Just kiss that little. We call them onion.
She's gonna learn how to
hoods.
unbigify.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I'm looking at Gracie.
You
Okay.
unbigify
I'm
the same way
surprised.
you bigify.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised she's not sitting there smushing your face to death.
I
It's fine.
know. Hey,
Oh, wait a minute.
you ever
I
Started
spoke
to.
too soon.
Did you really have to say
I
that?
know. I know, but Gracie can't hear that.
I know, but
At
still.
least I don't think so.
now she getting the snuggies.
Yeah, she is.
What? I know it's hot, ain't it? It's hot, ain't it? Yeah.
Just light, Fly. Just light. That's all I want you to do. Just light.
Yeah.
I told Terry the last one that was in here, I believe, could have carried him off.
Yeah, that's what I hate about this, man. I mean, you get one fly in here or whatever, and one of them stayed in here for like 2 or 3 days just buzzing right by me and stuff like that. It was irritating the crap out of me.
I can
Eddie?
imagine.
You're going to be upset when I tell you this, but you're crackling.
It'll go away.
Okay. No problem. So what'd y'all do today? Anything? I know what
Nope.
me and DJ and Dez did.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yeah, I was about as
What'd y'all do? What'd y'all do?
We sat on a live for an hour and a half.
I canned.
Yeah.
And then Dee
who's
and I
live?
talked for a good while, and I
Yeah.
slept in till like, well, I woke up at 7:30, so I woke up an hour and a half later than I usually do. Then I fell asleep in my chair until 11:30, and my son comes by and goes 11:30, 11:45, and goes, "Mom."
Who's live?
So that was my
No.
excitement.
My life.
I didn't even know you were live, DJ.
I would like to get watch time.
I didn't even know you were live.
You know, I
You
believe
don't
that.
have the bell on then.
I do
I
have
think DJ's.
the bell on.
I have no doubt DJ's planning on doing, wearing a shirt over that Fraggle Rock shirt.
No, he
No,
can't.
no. I'm not gonna need that.
Nope.
He gonna play fair by the rules.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
then he'll wear a sheet or something else. I don't know.
No,
You know,
he's not Gary. He's gonna play by the rules.
well, I hope so.
He almost said that he was going to shut down his channel completely to get out of the bet, but he said that wouldn't be cool, so he decided not to.
I said it was a drastic option that I didn't want to take, but
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew he'd be hearing from all of us.
Yeah, buddy. Oh,
that,
Excuse me.
well, if I knew how to play a game, I'd put a game on for us.
Well,
Well,
if you-
Gary does, and DJ does,
yeah,
but then Eddie will leave us.
Oh. No, well, we want Eddie to stick around.
That's right,
Why would Eddie leave us if we played a game?
because he doesn't like us playing games because it takes away from chat.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't care
even
about-
though
I don't care about playing games.
even though we try to quit chat all the time, but
He says, "Okay, fine." He doesn't care.
uh,
I'll tell you what, I was surprised when I came in the door yesterday and I came in and got on that live and that I actually won something.
I missed it all because I was stuck in between no signals and on the road 3 states yesterday.
Well, I was, Gary was doing a giveaway for his members, and I said, well, okay, I've got to go out. I got to get out. of the
I
car.
heard that.
Oh,
Yeah, I was there for that.
I was shocked.
I know you said if you won, you would give it to Eddie. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was $30.
yeah.
I was there for that one.
I was so. I mean, but I was just so surprised because don't usually win. So, but
That's why she said she'd
but
give it to me if she won, because she usually don't win.
no, no, no.
I'm just kidding with you, D.
Good.
Yeah.
I love you, Eddie. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
So,
I see. Should I turn this
Well,
light on?
I've got most everything paid except for Gray Wolves, Eagles Trekker, and Georgianne Rose. I don't know, I don't know how to contact Georgianne Rose. I think I sent a thing to Eagles Trekker, and I couldn't. I don't know if I found Gray Wolves. I think I sent. I don't know. I sent emails to everybody I could find their email.
Well, check your sent section. If you've lost track of who you sent to, it'll be there.
No, yeah,
He
you're
marked them down.
right. As far as email, I'm just talking about the ones that I've paid off. I put a line to them once. I wrote them all down,
Yeah.
and now the only thing I need to send that coin out to Ralph at Webb's Web.
Oh,
and
somebody
I
want a
need-
coin. Oh, yeah, your coin, the dog.
Now,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Gary is going to send me some Carolina Reapers on Monday, okay? And then
already.
I should have them. And so next Saturday, we're having a challenge. Devil Dog versus Belt Loop 29 on his channel Saturday night. And actually, if you send me more than one, Gary, and if you can get one down and keep one down, we can keep going to see who can eat the most.
Oh,
no, I mean I already know who'd win that. That's a stupid suggestion. Sorry, but it is.
I want to keep your stomach. I want to keep your stomach intact. So don't even think about it, Eddie.
Who's mine or Gary's?
Yours.
I've eaten Carolina Reapers before.
I know you have, but not multiples in a row. Blah 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 blah.
He ate Carolina Reaper, 2 ghost peppers, and 2 habaneros.
Oh, I know.
Which that's about 4.4 million Scoville.
That don't bother me. Okay, what bothered me was when I did the hot sauce and I didn't dilute it, because I've eaten it since then, but I've eaten it on food. Okay, but when I did a half a shot glass of Semper Fi hot sauce that somebody sent me. Was that you, Gary? You sent me that, didn't you?
I sent
We
you
seen
the
it somewhere.
Marine Corps.
Yeah, the Semper Fi hot sauce. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary, he sent me that, so I did a half a shot glass of that, and that had pretty good flavor. I mean, that's all gone. I've already used all that. But then Reagan at Southern Boy Prepper, he sent me a bottle of the Blair's Megadeth hot sauce.
Yeah.
So as soon as I did the Semper Fi hot sauce, I did a half a shot glass of the Blair's Megadeth. And I'll tell you what, I eat hot stuff all the time. I eat jalapenos, habaneros, ghost peppers I love. There's a great flavor to them. There's a little bit of heat to it. But this stuff, it wasn't the heat that got me, okay? It was like 5 minutes afterwards, my stomach felt like it was in a cardboard baler thing or a car compression thing. It was just tight, and I was sweating, and I went to the bathroom. Jamie brought me wet washcloths, and I drunk like Pepto-Bismol Ultra and milk and everything
And
else.
Andrew was
And
there to help you.
I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital for a minute, but then after about 10 minutes or something, it subsided, and I was good to go. And
I
stuff
know.
like that.
I was here for that, and I was here for that when Andrew and everybody was like, "We're shutting it down. He's not coming back," and we're like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Is he okay? Is he okay? Is he okay?"
But
Because,
the thing
I
is,
mean, we saw you suffering.
afterwards, I read on the box with that Blair's Megadeth, and it says, "Do not use without dilution."
After the fact of killing himself with his stomach.
So I think that's what got to me, is the Blair's Megadeth and everything else. But like I said, since then I've eaten it on food, and it's fine. I can handle it and stuff.
Yeah.
and it hasn't cramped me up like that one time.
Oh man,
And
And
that
I
was
finally
bad.
got her. I finally got Gracie laying down because I told you the only AC vent in this room, and this room's hot, but the only AC vent is down under my desk.
And
my
let
feet,
me, is she laying on top of it?
I finally got her down there to where she's right in front of me. That's why I'm sitting back away from my desk a little bit. Is because
Yeah.
her face and her paw is on that AC vent. But it's so freaking hot in here. She was panting and everything. Like I said, I was sweating earlier, but I'm back.
Yeah,
that's
but
why I
are
wear
you
the-
getting any coolness?
Yeah. You
Okay.
see the fuzzy slippers that I usually wear?
Yeah.
I put my feet on the desk and y'all see them on TV. It's because
Yeah.
this AC vent and my diabetes, my feet freaking start getting pains in them or cold or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I have this plastic thing it's a tote with like labels and stuff in it that if it's too bad, I'll slide that over the vent. But then it
Gotcha.
gets too hot in here once the vent's covered. So
Yeah.
it's like a constant sliding that thing, but I wear the fuzzy slipper so it keeps my feet warm. But I can get the AC on my legs and body, and because I'll be hot up here.
Hey, Devil Dog.
Yeah.
Devil Dog. Maybe
Yeah.
you
Can you
should
check
try
your
just
basement for a
partially
second?
covering it.
I've tried that, Gary.
Do you
Okay.
check your basement? Make sure nobody's down there.
Hey, Eddie.
Yeah,
I heard a click.
DJ.
I wanted to make sure I didn't hear anything.
I told
Nobody's in the basement.
I told
Okay.
my dad that
What do you say?
he laughed at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was actually planning on doing another mail call, which I'm all ready for it and set up. Plus, I was going to do another Devil Dog University show going live or whatever to show people how to go live on YouTube. And I was going to do that stuff, and then I seen Dia was live, so her and Gary have.
Yeah, we wanted her to get some live in before you did live, and Gary did live.
Her and Gary have forwarded my day.
Yeah.
Oh, plus, this Little Chef challenged me last night on her live, on Chef's Live. She wanted me to eat ice cream and pickles together. Okay, so I told her I would do that today, make a video, because I do have some sugar-free vanilla ice cream in the freezer, and I have sliced pickles or whatever. So I was going to do a video on that today, but I got stopped. Thanks, Gary.
Well,
I didn't stop you. I offered a couple of times to let you go work on things.
You know what? Let's just change the shirt from "It's all Devil Dog's fault" to "It's all Belt Loop 29's fault."
you should definitely go to the ice cream and pickle video. That way you get it out for by next Saturday.
Shut up, DJ.
Hey, Gary, that ice cream that you was eating the other night, the biscuits and what was it?
Biscuits and jam.
Jam.
I
Okay,
never heard
I
of
found
that.
that.
Damn.
He said it was pretty good.
Who's
It
it
was
from?
pretty good.
But I saw that brand at Walmart today, and I wished I could remember what the one was. I should have bought it, but it was a weird one.
Oh, I saw one at Walmart yesterday. I
Yeah.
was thinking about getting, but Tammy just kind of walked off, and she knows I'm trying to do kind of a low carb thing, but still I'm attracted to the ice cream aisle. But they got a key line.
He's attracted
Yeah.
to the ice cream.
I may still have to get that key line.
Ice cream
I think
aisle has. It's the Belt Loop
do what?
29 aisle.
I think it was.
I'm gonna look at that from now on.
Some kind of waffle, something. Something
Oh.
waffle.
Hey, Gary.
I don't know.
Gary, I have a question.
Yeah.
You know how those aisles have numbers on it? Next time you're there, I want you to go to change the ice cream number aisle to 29.
Then take a picture.
You need to talk to the store manager. Say, hey, I'm your biggest freaking consumer and buyer and consumer of ice cream products. So I want this
Well,
aisle to be 29 and see what they
Well,
say.
they've already
Actually,
changed a few things for me. They knew I was
Okay.
going to get some ice cream, so they moved the entire freezer section to the very front of the store, so that
Yeah.
you know when I go in there, I
Hey.
have to pass the ice cream section to go.
That's why the ice cream section's in the front now.
I want you to make a video with the manager asking him that.
Asking him if they'll change the
Yep,
sign to.
Yep, the ice cream aisle number to 29.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, you can talk to him, get everything prepared ahead of time. He may not want to be on
Maybe get him
camera.
to
You can just if you don't want
maybe
to be
get
on
him to at least to put
camera.
up some Belt Loop 29 stuff around.
put a sticker on a thing of ice cream or something, for at least a minute so we can see it, one of the Bell Loop 29 stickers. But you need to, and he may not be allowed to show the store, like Walmart or his face or whatever else, but at least you can have it there, aim towards the ground and
Maybe.
let us hear him. So put that
Maybe.
on your content. People will watch it. I'll watch it, Gary. I'll watch that video.
I appreciate that, Devil Dog.
You didn't take my advice about Tweety, and now Vaughn's got all these videos on Tweety and stuff, which he should have done. But let's see if you take my advice. Let's see if you take my advice on this one. It's something a little bit closer to your heart than Tweety.
I'm a little hard-headed. You know that, Devil Dog.
We all know
You?
that, Gary.
Oh, shoot, I forgot. Everybody share this out on your community tab.
I already did.
I forgot. Create.
Okay, I'm sorry. Do what?
Uh-oh,
Say
wait.
again? What did he say?
Share you out on community tabs.
Oh, thank you.
I said I already did before we went live.
Yep.
Mm.
Trying to find a happy birthday stamp.
Oh,
Oh, check this out, Des.
There we go.
what is that?
It's
Plaid.
a stamp. Yeah, Buffalo
wow.
Plaid stamp.
That's cool.
You know, they should
For
have a
different
stamp
seasons.
with a 29 on it.
I
I'm
can do
sure
it.
they
agree with
do.
that.
I'm
I'm sure they
do,
have a Kevin Harvick stamp, Gary. I'm sure they do.
I have the numbers somewhere in this room. Where at? I don't know. But I do. I have a happy birthday somewhere in this room.
Oh, cool.
You know what, Gary? Yeah, they do have Kevin Harvick stamps, buddy.
They also have Elvis Presley stamps.
Okay, wait. Let me ask you this real quick. Are you a Kevin Harvick fan there, Gary?
I used to be. I don't follow sports anymore.
Why don't you follow NASCAR? They still do the national anthem. They don't kneel.
I don't watch any sports anymore. I tried watching golf, but it just didn't suit me.
Well, golf don't suit me either. When I start watching golf, I start falling asleep. But anyways, if you're a Kevin Harvick fan, bro, because he used to drive the 29 car and stuff, I don't know why you're still not a Kevin Harvick fan.
Well, he doesn't drive the 29 anymore. He
I
drives.
know. I know. And who's the owner of the 4 car?
That would be,
Stuart
Kevin
Haas Racing. No, that'd be Stuart Haas Racing.
Oh, well, yeah, but it was driven. It's being driven.
It's driven by Kevin Harvick, yes. But the owner of the race team
Well,
is
you
Stuart
don't
Haas
say
Racing.
that 29 was, you say that's Kevin Harvick, not Richard Childress Racing.
Well, okay, but I'm saying you were a Kevin Harvick fan because he drove the 29 car. And if you're a Kevin Harvick fan, because just like Tony Stewart, I was a Tony Stewart fan. He drove for Joe Gibbs Racing when he drove for the Home Depot car. Okay. Yeah. But then he went into business with Haas and combined with Stuart Haas Racing and drove for himself. I was still a Tony Stewart fan, a Smoke fan. So I went over, not that I didn't like Joe Gibbs Racing anymore, but I went over to Stuart Haas Racing. That was my favorite team because I like Stuart.
Yeah. So what's
Sorry, guys?
Is there a question in there?
Yeah, you should be going for Kevin Harvick.
So there's no question, just a statement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the question do you like Kevin Harvick? That was the question.
Yeah, I like Kevin Harvick.
Okay, then you should be going for Stuart Haas Racing because
I don't like racing anymore.
How do you just all of a sudden one day flip flip a switch says, I don't like any sports anymore.
Well,
I
if it's
have.
any consolation, I love it.
You
Oh,
love
I-
racing, D? Oh, good.
I
Who
I
did-
like
do.
drag,
Okay,
I like
shut
drag
up.
racing.
Okay, hush, Gary. You're not in this conversation no more. You can just
All
go
right.
ahead and drop to the basement or mute your mic or whatever you want to do, because me and D's going to talk here real quick. All right.
Okay, do your thing.
All right. Hey, D, you like NASCAR?
I love NASCAR, but they've changed drivers and sponsors so much. I don't know who's who anymore.
Yeah. Well, who did you like in the past?
Well, of course, I like Earnhardt.
Yeah, I
And-
like Earnhardt too. Earnhardt or Earnhardt Jr. You talking about
Both.
Dale?
I
You're
love
talking about-
both of them.
Yeah, I did too. Well,
I did-
Junior's retired.
You know, I used to not like Tony Stewart, but I have a whole new respect for him. I really do, because he doesn't seem. I guess when he was racing NASCAR,
That's why I liked him, though. Is what you're fixing to say. I'll tell
Yeah.
you, mate. Go ahead.
because he was extremely passionate. And
Yes, That's why I loved him.
But now, see, I misconstrued his passion for arrogance.
Okay. Well,
So-
see, no, that's the thing, because Stewart is a lot like me. Okay. And I've told Gary this before and everything else. I am very competitive. And when I played
No.
football in middle school and high school and everything else, I was not the biggest, most athletic person on the team. And I
Yeah.
guarantee you I got several concussions and stuff. But as soon as I got hit and shook off the freaking, little lights and everything, I was ready to go again. I would
Yeah.
not quit. I had a no quit attitude. Just like playing baseball or softball, even if we were losing, I would not give up until the game was over, because I was passionate and I'm all heart and I'm very competitive. And there were people that just kind of freaking started, messing around, messing off, screwing off, that I would get mad at them and everything else, because I was in it until the very end of it.
Right.
But that was with Tony Stewart. Is, to me, he had the same heart, and he was always wanting to win, and he was always very competitive and everything else. And that's why I loved him, because before I went to Tony, well, and yeah, I did like Earnhardt too, junior and senior. But I was working at Lowe's, and the driver of Lowe's was Mike Skinner. And I hated Mike Skinner. I wanted to go for the Lowe's car because I worked for Lowe's, but I didn't like Mike Skinner. And then I moved from Lowe's to Home Depot, started working for Home Depot, and that's where Tony Stewart come in, and that's why I fell in love with him and everything else.
Yeah.
And so from then on, I was always a Smoke fan. That was my number one guy.
I can understand that.
And you go for other teams, other drivers too sometimes, but Smoke was my favorite.
Nowadays, it's just whoever is. Oh, I want to say this, but I can't say it. I don't think whoever's just not being a jerk. Like, to me, all right, now, okay, hear me out on this one. I'm not a Kyle Busch fan because he's a baby.
Yeah. Well, that's the same thing. Hold on. That's the same thing as Jeff Gordon. I hated Jeff Gordon because he was a baby. Jeff Gordon was a crybaby, crying all the time about stuff. And my manager at Home Depot, and Lowe's, Charles Nance, he was a Jeff Gordon lover, Jeff Gordon fan, and I hated him because he always cried and whined about stuff and everything else.
Yeah. Well, see, that's just like with Kyle Busch. Okay, every time somebody pushes him and knocks him out of the way, like he does himself, pushes people and knocks them out of the way. Now, I'm sorry, that's racing. Okay?
Yep.
It's just racing.
Well, it's went downhill a lot. Used to, Rubbin was racing and everything else. Now they freaking, because of driver safety and everything else, they don't allow as much. But I agree. It took away a lot of the fun of it.
I've been watching NASCAR since the 70s when it started with my dad. And I watched, when I can get it on TV now, I try to watch it, but I don't have cable or I don't have satellite. So when it's on one of the 3 channels, or channel, WS or NBC, when it's on NBC or a Fox, then generally I can get it. I have a digital TV antenna, so
yeah. Well,
But
Yeah,
I'll tell you,
antenna doesn't work in my house. I've tried.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by too many townhouses and trees.
well,
But
I'll
now,
tell you.
as far as racing goes, if it has horsepower, and I'm talking motorcycle or anything like that, I used to try to get my daughter into what they call it, stadium racing, when they
Uh-huh.
do the big trucks. When she was little, I mean, I had her sitting on a pillow in front of the TV with a pan lid driving, and every time they'd go up over them, them obstacle things, we would go back and down and over and around and all that. She still don't like racing.
Well,
I love
well, see-
drag racing. Shoot, if it
Drag-
like I said, if it's got speed, I like it.
Well, it does like drag racing. Drag racing's all right, but it's not my favorite. I love dirt track racing, the way they freaking skid around and everything else.
That's
I
another
love.
thing. That's another thing Tony's good at.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That's where he came from, and that's
Yeah.
why Tony was. That's why Smoke was good on road races. You
Yeah.
know, where it had right and left turns and everything else. That was like he would like ace those all the time. You know, now he don't drive no more. He's just owner, but still,
No,
I
he
go
just
for
drag
it.
racing.
I like drag racing because it was quick and fast and over.
But see, now,
This is impatient, man. Golly,
but see,
Well,
Tony
see-
Stewart is now drag racing.
is he?
Yes.
I
He,
didn't know that.
he married what's her name? What's his wife's name? She's a drag racer.
Really?
And actually he's already won a Wally. He sure has. God, what's her name?
Leah Pruitt.
Yes. And he seems I've watched interviews with him, and he seems more down to earth and mellow since he got married and started drag racing than he was when he was NASCAR racing.
Wow, she's a lot younger than him, ain't she? She's only 35 years old. She was born in 1988. They were married in 2021. Yeah. It says currently driving the NHRA Top Fuel Dragster for Tony Stewart.
And he even won his Wally at, I can't remember which, it may have been Vegas, where they do 4 wide.
On 2020, really? I didn't know that. On 2019, Stewart was voted into NASCAR Hall of Fame, and on January 31st, 2020, was inducted alongside the 11th Hall of Fame class. On November 21st, 2021, he married NHRA Top Fuel drag racer Leah Pruitt.
Yeah, he that was pretty wild when he won that. He was very surprised.
Says, in fact, things have only gotten better for him since he married his wife, Leah Pruitt. That was May 1st, 2023.
And she's just seems to be a beautiful person. I mean, she's a pretty lady, but I mean, I think she's just brought the best out in him, myself. To watch him on this thing that I watched, and it was kind of like he would race and then he'd come back in, he would talk, and then he would go back out and race and come back in and talk. But I swear, to me, he just seemed like a totally different person. If I can find it, I'll find it, send it to you and let you watch it.
The race is tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Pocono.
That's road course, though, ain't it?
I think so.
I'm not much on road course. I mean, I watch it, but I'm gonna be.
You know, Kyle Busch drives for Tony Stewart, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, they drove back together with Joe Gibbs Racing too.
Yeah. Yeah. But
wait, no, he don't. He drives the number 8 for Richard Childress. Never mind. Kyle Busch drives the number 8 for Richard Childress Racing.
She is so ready for that fly.
I am.
She's got that fly swatter in her hand. You just wave that sucker.
I'm telling you, he'd carry me off. I weigh more than Terry does. I'm serious. It's awful. And we don't have a whole lot of flies in here, but man, when they get in here, I guess there's something they feast upon in here because in Christmas they grow like mega.
Yeah.
But it's just one. Thank goodness, it's just one. But it bugs the far out of me.
Yeah, see, Stuart is 52 years old. He's my age. He was born a year before me. He was born in Indiana, though, Gary.
Yep.
I know. Hey, I
Aw,
was a Tony Stewart
Nikki.
fan too.
Whatever. No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki. Nicole.
I
Bye.
said her name. Sorry, Gary.
That's okay.
I said
And-
Nikki. She lifted up her head and then she took off.
Well, the best part of that show's over, so, because Nikki left.
Yeah.
I just happened to look up and see Nikki. Oh, look at that, Tony Stewart.
Yeah, whatever.
Where's Tony Stewart?
He just showed a lunchbox, a
bag.
Tony Stewart lunchbox.
Oh,
It don't matter.
sure.
I had a bunch of
No,
stuff.
that's
Tony.
not a lunch box. That's a tackle box.
Whatever. You don't fish, so you must not like Tony Stewart that
Hey,
much.
I used to have a bunch of merchandise from Tony Stewart.
I did too, so I don't want to hear it.
Well, do you have a tackle box from Tony Stewart?
No, I don't have a tackle.
Oh, I
box.
must be a bigger fan.
No, you aren't. Because
Bigger fan.
I had a Tony Stewart jacket. Did you have a Tony Stewart jacket?
I did. In fact, I had a couple of them.
Whatever. Let me see them.
Let me see if I think I sent.
I really don't want to see it because I know you weren't as big a smoke fan as me. So shush.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
my
sounds-
Oh,
goodness.
hey, you know what, Gary?
And he's gone. You first dropped him, and did he just fall out?
No, Eddie dropped him.
DJ, he's talking to you. Gary's talking to you, DJ. Did you catch it?
No.
I love you, guys.
Big
DJ
country.
said no.
Devil dog.
And poor DJ seems a little lost. No.
DJ's probably playing a game or something. Hey, look at him. He is busted. He's two-timing you, D.
That's all
That's
right. That's okay. I'm good with that. If he wants to play it, just as long as I get some time with him, that's good.
Hey, LP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's getting watch time
LP.
anyway.
Hey, LP,
Yeah.
how you doing? I gotta stop saying that. How you
Gary-
doing?
Gary's fixing to go buy Tammy ice cream. He's putting his shoes and socks and boots on.
Hang on, I gotta go see if I can find one of my Tony Stewart jackets.
I don't want to see you in none of your Tony Stewart jackets.
Thank you for coming to support D.
Yes, thank you so very much.
Appreciate
guys-
that, LP.
Yeah, you guys put it on the
Oh,
community
yes,
tab.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, well, I
Hey,
like this shirt, but it's not
LP?
my size.
LP, if you'd like to drop your link so everybody can check you, and I can sub to you if you would. You can type Faith FAITH, or you can do HITW.
Do I hear Brooklyn?
I still have my thing with it on there.
I have a vintage Valvoline jacket.
Oh, really? Unfortunately, I have a Mike Skinner jacket. I don't know.
LP has 16 subscribers and no videos right now.
Who?
LP is a supporter.
Cool.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming in.
See, I'm just a viewer.
Well,
Okay.
Nice.
You know, the thing is the viewers are actually the supporters like that are actually I'm subscribed to LP too, by the way, but the thing is the viewers a lot of times are better than content creators. Okay.
Yeah.
Because content creators have their own stuff to do. They have to create content, they have to try to grow their channel, they have to bring in members or supporters and stuff like this. Where if you get like supporters like Quint, LP, stuff like that, they're not creating their own content. If they're supporting you, a lot of times it means they like your content and they're supporting you. So you don't have to really worry about supporting them back a lot of times because they don't have any content creation.
Yeah.
But you can show your appreciation to them, other ways. One of them is by doing, now, when I first started, there was a lot of people that didn't pay attention to chat, and it would frustrate the crap out of me because, and I even had one guy who's probably bigger than me. I don't know if he's bigger than me or not, but he told me, he said, I don't pay attention to chat. I just pay, and this is when I was in chat. He's like, I only pay attention to the people on the panel. And I told him, I'm like, okay, so you're going to alienate. You got 40 people, say 40 people in chat. I'm just throwing that number out there.
Yeah.
You got 40 people in chat, and you're just carrying on a conversation with the 3 or 4 people you got up on panel. So
Yeah.
you're alienating 40 people that possibly want to be interacted with or
Yeah.
have something to contribute to the conversation because you got 3 or 4 people up on panel that I guess you view them as more important than the 40 subscribers or viewers or whatever else. I'm like, that's bullcrap, but that's fine. You run your channel how you want to. I'm not going to come to your lives because of the fact I'm not important to you. I'm not important enough for you to recognize and thank for coming there. Now, granted, I've seen some channels with 500, 600, 700 people, and that chat is flying, and you cannot read every comment or every person that comes in. But until I get to that point, I'm still going to recognize the people that I can and what they say. I mean, there's some of those chats, so you can't even read what they say. The only way to do it, would be to go back and keep pausing or whatever to read what they say.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It.
Cool.
Especially when you get to the hellos.
Dad, why do you try to ignore my chats all the time?
Hey, Eddie,
Yeah.
check out my shirt. Let's see here. I, sir, am a car girl.
Did you find it, Gary?
Oh, I found a few other things, but you said you didn't want to say it. So
no, I said.
Do you want me to start dragging out all my merchandise?
No, I really don't, Gary. But I was just trying to give you a hint. I mean, a chance. So what do you got? What'd you find? Let's do Gary show and tell.
Well, I left it in another room, but hang on.
Oh, sure, likely excuse, Gary.
I tell you what, here I'll throw on at least one of my hats.
You need to bring it all the time anyway, just so that, oh, there he goes. Honey, did you just drop him again?
Yes.
I love it. Read between the lines.
I had that same Tony Stewart hat, Gary.
Well, I've got several of them over there. If you want me to go drag them out, I will.
But I will tell you this. I think my Tony Stewart hat got ruined in Harvey.
Well, so you're saying you don't have one?
Not any longer, I don't. But Tony Stewart's no
well, I
longer
still
a
got
driver
it.
either. He no longer drives
I've
the 20
given
car.
away most of my stuff, including probably 100,000, cards.
Okay, so why don't you like the number?
No, not all of them.
If you're a Tony Stewart fan, why didn't you like the number 20 instead of the number 29 that Kevin Harvick drove?
Well, I had some stuff with 20 on it. It's just 29 is the one I picked, and that's the one I went with.
So, in other words, 29 ain't worth nothing. It's just a figment
No,
of your
29 is
imagination.
great.
It's
Eddie,
just
again, kiss my rear end.
No, it's Brilliance.
You
just
can debigify me, D.
It's just a figment of your imagination, huh, Gary?
Well,
Just because the number 29 is special to you, Gary, don't mean it's special to everyone else.
all right. Now this ain't just.
Oh my God! Nope. We're not having none of that, D.
What?
All right, that's it. I'm tired of being dropped. I'm going.
He brought his Dallas Cowboys hat stuff up, Des.
Well, yeah, I got more than that. I got a thing of Dallas Cowboys, deadgum right here. Dallas Cowboy deadgums, Dallas Cowboy paper towels.
Okay, well, I got.
Hey, If you want to start
I got a
talking about
Houston. I got a Houston
sports,
Texans. I got a Houston Texans football. How you like that, Gary?
you also got a neck thing that I sent you.
I know I do. It's in the bedroom. Want me to go get it?
Go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
And
Now
it's
drop
Houston
him down,
Texans.
Dave. Drop him down.
What's he going to get? A lanyard?
A neck
KULP.
pillow that I sent him from that's a Houston Texans. Wait a minute,
Oh,
I ain't finished.
okay.
While you two were having a battling of different logos and sports teams and race car driving, I'm going out for a smoke where it's safe.
Okay.
Hey,
I'll go
I've
play
got-
in lightning and thunder before I get in the middle of
Hey.
this one.
even though I've given away most of my stuff, including most of my as far as I can tell, my Kevin Harvick and Tony Stewart jackets, I've still got a ton of the hats. I've still got a ton of the, I've got an entire basket, clothes hamper basket in there full of hats.
Wow.
I like hats. I always have, but
Yeah.
right now this is the primary. Well, that ain't it. Right now, this is the primary hat that I wear.
That's a
So
cool hat.
hey, I can't help that I've accumulated. I used to have like a couple hundred die-cast cars. Now, not all this size. This is the littlest I had, but I had them up to 1/18 scale.
That's the ones I had was the 1/18.
Yeah.
But I got rid of all them in a yard sale.
Well,
I
I've
can't
had,
wear hats; they fall off my head because my hair is too thick for them.
Well, I've still got some stuff, including, some, I guess, sports cards and that type of thing. Although I gave most of my sports cards to my friend so he could open up he's got 2 card shops now. And
Cool.
he's, he's giving me a percentage of his shop, but I hadn't bothered taking anything out of it or anything. I don't have any intention to.
Hey, Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca. How's it
But-
going?
Good to see you, Rebecca. But as far as sports, yeah, I was into sports. It was at one point, it was about the only thing that gave me any enjoyment. But, and I followed racing. I followed football. I followed baseball. In fact, I even watched for a while, I was into basketball. But that was back when, Larry Bird and, and
Oh,
Michael-
that's the Celtics.
Yeah.
yeah, I watched the Celtics, and I watched, and of course, I watched a little bit later when it was Magic Jordan, and
Michael Jordan.
Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan.
well, I never cared that much about Magic, and truthfully, I wasn't a huge basketball fan, but a friend of mine, I worked with, was after work, I'd go I rode with him to work. And for a while he'd go over to his grandmother's and he'd watch the Boston Celtics play. So,
Yep.
For a while I used to watch when it got down to the Sweet 16 and the,
All right, I'm back.
all right, drop him into the basement, Dave.
I
Drop
didn't
him
even.
into the basement. In the
He can bring
basement,
himself out.
Dave.
He can bring himself out.
Put him,
I
it
didn't-
doesn't matter. Do it anyhow.
I
Drop
didn't
him
even-
into the basement.
I didn't even get everything. You see this, Gary? Houston Texans neck pillow. Okay,
Yeah.
I actually won this jacket for top salesman or whatever when I
It
worked. at
figures
Lowe's.
you'd have a Lowe's jacket.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. Unfortunately, it was Mike Skinner. See right there, but you
Yeah.
can't see because of green screen. But it's yellow. Hold on, let me turn off my green screen. Like I said, I wasn't a Mike Skinner fan. There we go. See, it has this
See,
thing
Lowe's
right
is
there.
evil.
Mike Skinner.
Yeah.
Lowe's is evil. If it was now, you might have impressed me a little bit
Hold on,
if
hold on.
you'd had a Home Depot. But
No,
that's
Lowe's. Hold on.
Lowe's
Hush,
is
Gary,
Jimmy
talk.
Johnson.
Let me talk. See, Houston Texans backpack here, bro. It's a backpack, one of those zip string backpacks. Houston Texans. See, a Houston Texans pennant. You see, Houston
Yeah.
Texans.
Dude,
well, I showed you-
Texas.
I showed you the red football, but
Yeah.
I have a white one here too, and I used to have a blue one. I think Gracie got a hold of it. See the scratch mark?
The fact that you
Yeah.
still have those shows you don't use them.
There's a big Texans football.
Gee.
We used to have Houston autographs.
D, drop him down into the basement.
I'm interested in what
Totem
you got.
The Texans totem pole is wood.
Yeah.
It's cool. This thing's cool. I got a Texans. It goes into the back of
Oh, that's
the
cool.
truck in the bumper
Pitch
thing.
receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, receiver.
Pitch receiver. Actually, I have a buddy that made this. He can make a lot of them, different kinds of
Cool.
stuff.
Well, he ought to be making some Dallas Cowboy ones.
Houston he does make cowboy ones. Welcome to our home. I have a Houston Texans fan clock here. I also got another Houston Texans clock, but it's a different one. So, I mean,
Yeah, you're a fan.
batteries are corroded in the back of it. But
That's cool.
I mean, I also have. I just ran out of arms space to carry everything in here, and my wife's like, "You better put all that stuff back where you got it from."
It sounds like you might have a Houston Texan sound system there too.
What, am I cutting out again?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Is it better?
Say something.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But
For
anyways,
the most part.
Yeah, the only thing that I have left of my racing is I have several lanyards where I went to the races, and I have a vintage, I think it's a vintage Ford jacket and a vintage Valvoline jacket. And when I say vintage, I mean 70s.
Wow.
It's pretty
Hey,
cool.
Molly.
hey Molly,
All right, I'll tell you
hey
what.
Rebecca.
Hey, Molly, welcome back.
Hey,
Y'all
LP.
talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna go. It's got me wondering which ones they are. So be right back.
Yeah, Molly and Rebecca.
See what you guys did now.
What?
You run her off, Devil Dog. Shame on you.
I did not run her off.
Shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you, Devil Dog.
No, Gary, on you.
Hey, Devil Dog started it.
No, you did.
No, it was him.
You.
Okay, kids.
But yeah, I like this friggin' totem, man. It's all wooden, I think, and it's engraved. You know, it's got the Houston Texans little guy with the helmet here, and it's got this square block, and then it's got
Are
the
you at
football.
your mic's acting up again?
No, it's not. You're messing with.
No, it's
No,
crackling
I'm
a little
not.
bit.
No, it's
Oh my God, what is up with this?
I don't know. I just thought it'd be best to get that Houston Texans stuff out of there. Okay, so see, this is a Kevin Harvick watch. See, Kevin Harvick got his
Okay, LP.
number and his
Cool,
signature
cool.
there at the top.
Oh, cold all of a sudden.
Well, it's been a pretty good day here. It ain't been as burning hot as it has been over the last week.
Check this
Oh,
out.
cool.
A Valvoline. It's stained and all.
Well, you're dealing with oil, so what do you expect?
Yeah, yeah. I've got another one that's locked up, but okay. And my Mighty Jigs hat.
There we go.
So yeah, I think the one that's got Ford on it is locked in the closet, so I can't get it yet. But yeah, if it's the LP, my homestead is doing pretty good. I had to pull out some tomato plants today because I think the blight got a hold of them. And
The who?
the blight, tomato blight, they
No.
just turned yellow. But I had to pull out about 5 plants today. So I've got a bunch of green tomatoes and I think I'm going to either try to slice them up and can them so I can have them this winter so we can fry them, or I'm going to try and make green tomato salsa.
Dee, let me ask
Yeah.
you a question.
Ask away.
Do you single stem your tomatoes, or are they more of a indeterminate or determinate?
I only grow indeterminate.
All right. And do you prune them up to a single lead, or do you prune them at all?
No.
Okay. If you prune them typically to either a single or a double lead, it should cut down on some of the blight because it has more air movement around it.
Well, first off, I don't understand what you mean by single or double lead.
Well,
Is that
okay, it's a single lead is the main stem.
yeah?
All right, and you just let it go up, and whenever there's a sucker, you pinch off the sucker. If you
Oh.
let one of the suckers go, you will have two main
Yeah.
stems that are going up. I call that a double lead or double stem, tomato plant.
Yeah.
If you don't prune them at all, what happens, especially down towards the lower part, because a lot of the blight is in the ground, and
Yep.
so when the rain hits it, it tends to bounce back up and it will get on there. I don't think it's possible to totally eliminate it, but if you go through and do prune them at least the first 18 inches of it,
Yeah.
and allow it to grow up, then it will reduce the amount of blight you get.
Okay.
So
I will keep that in mind for next year because it's kind of a little too late this year. But hello, BC Gardening Experiments. Welcome
Hi,
in.
BNC. Molly, it's the whole racing
Hey,
and
John
who's got
Austin.
and sports who's got more hats and backpacks and trophies and
memorabilia.
magnets. There we go, memorabilia.
Yeah.
Speaking of memorabilia, I've now hit well, not really, but I've hit all 3 states of Cracker Barrel and got a magnet of Alabama, Georgia, and Florida.
Nice.
But they're all the same style. So it's like
Yeah.
if I can get one from every state, I'll have a big map on the side of my refrigerator because they're like this big. The magnets, they're not
We can't see it, Des.
How's it going, BC or BNC?
All right.
Are you having a great evening?
I'm saying when you said they're about this
I
big,
know. I realized that when you
we
said
had no
that, I was
clue
like,
how big you were talking about.
Yeah.
No.
There's
Look,
It's about as
I'm
big as her
old.
audio avatar.
That's right. No, they're bigger than that.
They're this big. Yeah.
Yeah, they're that big. You can't see them.
What was that, Gary?
it's a Home Depot hat, another Kevin Harvick hat, now that's just a GTO hat.
Oh, that's all right. I like goats.
There's another Home Depot hat.
Gary, you're not showing us. You're just
I
flashing.
am
it.
showing them.
No, you're not.
Hey,
You're just.
I tell you what, I got something I will give you, Devil Dog, just so you can feel good about yourself.
You're not. You're not.
Hang on a second.
You're
You
not.
didn't see them, Gary. All right, I'll show you. Here, I'll show you the
Here,
magnets. So
Look. Oh, okay, cool.
Hold on. There you go.
So this is what I'm collecting. Not anymore
Yeah.
now because I've hit all 3 states that I can get to. But
Hey,
Here's
Radio
one.
Man, welcome in.
here's the other one.
Wait a minute.
How many
And then-
states? How many states is Cracker Barrel in?
I don't know, but I've got these 3. But these are the one I'm collecting. I got these, and then I was collecting postcards. So I got postcards from each state too. They're kind of like with the map on it. So
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, you can have a big butt. I'm not
How
that pretty
is
to look
your
at.
evening, Radio Man? Whoops, wrong one. Wrong one.
I'm not that
it's
pretty to
Devil
look at.
Dog
There you go.
got me in the All right, fine. I ain't gonna give it to you after all. Kiss my butt.
What are you talking about, Gary? It's
I
not
was
all
just
about
saying,
you.
I got something I'll show you that I'll give to you.
It's not all about you, Gary. We were debigifying D.
No,
and the
you
other-
kept throwing, you know good and well, you kept throwing Des up there, even though she put up
No.
her avatar.
No,
Even though
that-
I was trying to show you something that, that I was going to give you. That's Tony Stewart related. But that just goes to show you don't care anything about Tony Stewart or Smoke, else you'd have been paying attention. So
I
kiss
want
my
to
rear.
see I want to see it.
Fine, I'll show you, but I ain't giving it to Devil Dog.
Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Holographic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And I
Pretty
got
cool.
a set of 4
That
of
was-
these things.
That was the Indy 500, wasn't it, Gary?
And it was the Brickyard
Kissing
500.
yeah,
400.
kissing the bricks.
Yeah. And I was going to give you a full set of them, but no, you just had to be special. You just had to be antagonistic.
I gotta say something to Molly.
LP.
Hey, Gary, what the fuck is Devil Dog is? That's wrong.
Let's see. Hold
Uh
on.
oh, there goes my wire.
That's for pain in my butt.
Well,
D, can you show that for a second?
Who?
I know it's a
Who?
crappy. There.
Okay.
See, they kind of fit together, but the palm tree's in the way, and then
Yeah.
you got the name kind of like sticking out on every side.
Yeah.
But basically,
Okay.
that's the stamps together. Okay, you can unbigify. Thank you.
Okay. LP, I watched something that Simply Jan did, and she had gotten these beetle bags. And I'm telling you, I thought it's kind of goofy, but I thought, the beetles are so bad here, and they've eaten up a lot of my greenery on the plants, and a lot of my sunflower leaves. So I've ordered 3 of them off of Amazon, and I'm here to tell you, them suckers work. I mean,
What's
they work
that?
good. They're beetle bags.
okay.
They you have a pheromone that goes on the top, and okay, and you put it on top, and they go into the bag, but they don't come out. And I'm here to tell you, I bet you one bag's probably got 300 in it already. Just one bag. I put it over by my magnolia trees that's next to my pool, because my pool seems to be like a beetle magnet for it too. And I think right now, well, this morning we had 3 beetles in the skimmer, and that was it. But I've got plenty of big beetles in the bags.
Can
So
you
you
say
might try
that? Can you say
Well,
that 5 times fast?
beetle bag, beetle bag, beetle bag, beetle bag, beetle bag.
Well, I was
Hey.
talking about plenty of beetle, plenty
By the way, D,
plenty of beetles in the bag.
No, I can't say that fast. What, honey?
I was just going to tell you, when you do prune, you can take that piece that you pull off
Yeah.
the sucker,
Yep.
put it in some soil and
Yeah.
keep it watered, and it'll create a whole nother tomato plant.
I've heard that, and I've also heard that if you let if they're viners, if you are bush tomatoes, if you let them go on the ground, that they will, if you cover them up, that they'll continue to grow new plants.
Well, I can see where that would work. The fact is, tomato is a vine, and if you don't trellis them up, if you don't put them on sticks or something,
Yeah.
all along that vine, it will continue to root. The trouble also that you run into, though, is a lot of times that fruit will lay on the ground, and that creates some issues in itself. But if you single stem or double stem, even triple stem, and you allow it to grow up taller, that does a couple of things. First of all, it increases the size of your tomatoes, because it's not trying to put out more tomatoes as much as it is focused on those tomatoes that's there.
Yeah.
Secondly, it does allow better, wind or better air.
Yeah.
The air to pass through it or by it, which cuts down on the issues that you were having. it's just, but those suckers. In fact, I did a video on them. I don't remember if it's on this channel or my, maybe last year, about how to take a sucker and turn it into another plant. It was pretty easy. It's as long as you make the soil moist, it'll grow more roots.
Well, I think another thing is where my garden has not been amended very well.
Mm-hmm.
So, hello, Katie's Kitchen. Welcome in.
Hi, Katie's Kitchen.
I think this year, when everything is pulled out, I've got some lime, and I'm also a friend of mine she trains people teaches people how to ride horses, professional. And she got more horse poo than she knows what to do with. So I'm going to get a trailer load of it and put it up here on my compost and on my garden. Yeah. And we were going to put something else in there too and till it in, and then, maybe plant just a little cover something on top of it. Have you
ever tried the no-till method?
No. You mean the one where you just use hay bales or?
Well, I mean, there's a couple different ways of doing it, but just adding mulch or compost to the top. Just continue to add compost to the top. Don't actually till the soil. Dowding. There's a fella, I can't think of his first name, but Dowding does a lot of no-till, and he does some experiments and records the yield from two side-by-side plots. That both of them get treated the same, but one's tilled and the other one is not. And it gets more produce from the one that is not tilled, because the microorganisms in the soil. I have actually gone through from time to time, and they've got mycorrhizomes and what have you. You can get for the soil that will help. In fact, today we were just looking at some rock dust that has some really good properties to it. There's all sorts of additives you can add.
Katie's Kitchen, you're correct. It does after it's compost. That's why I figured if I put it on in the fall, it's not going to it will burn the plants up if you put it on, in the spring. But I figure if I put it out there this fall and then, after winter, I would think that it would be okay.
They say that you should go through and do stuff like that about 6 months before you actually plant in it.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what we're going to try to do this year. And, we may try just throwing the poo on there and just leaving it, maybe not tilling it in. I can get plenty of it. I would rather have another kind like chicken or rabbit or something like that.
Well, chicken's hot. Rabbit would be fine, and goat.
Yeah, goat.
But chicken will burn it if it doesn't compost first.
Yeah.
So.
Well, my compost area is right next to my garden. So, I've got stuff. We took a bunch of mulch and stuff from around the trees, and whenever I throw something over in there, I usually cover it up with that dirt with the mulch. But yeah, I don't know anybody's got no goats around here.
Got any what? Goats?
Goats.
Oh.
I guess I could look, but
look on like OfferUp or Facebook or something, and just put a post out there needing goat poo or whatever, and I'm sure they'll give it to you.
Well, now that I think about it, my daughter, she has a lady that works during tax time, and she has goats. She makes goat milk soap.
Yep.
And all that kind of stuff. So I might be able to get some from her.
Bunny honey works well too.
What is it?
Ooh.
Bunny honey, bunny poop.
Bunny poop?
Rabbit. rabbit poop.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that's got rabbits.
Gary's got rabbits and goats.
Yeah.
I used
And
to have
chickens.
rabbits. I used to have
There
rabbits.
is a mansion in North Texas with horses, and the guy sold composted horse manure or factory direct manure. Well, there's actually a place that it's a landscaping place that is probably 2 miles from me, but I don't really, I don't see that they've been there long enough to have good compost. So I can't kind of bank on that. But I've tried to, even dark topsoil, good topsoil. You cannot get good topsoil around here. So, but I'm gonna try doing the manure this fall, and hopefully it will help my garden spot. But another bad thing is we primarily grow tomatoes, and I know you probably shouldn't.
There's that rice and chicken in there. There is that rice and chicken in there.
I know you shouldn't plant the same thing, in the same place year after year. But
You talk about rotating crops.
yeah, well, from what I've heard, you're not supposed to plant like tomatoes in the same place that you planted tomatoes the year before. Move it. I guess if that's rotation, yeah. But
Well, it kind of depends. Never mind. I'm gonna shut up.
no, go ahead. I need to know what you have to say.
Well, Dee, you're welcome to call me. I mean, I know probably more than I should about gardening, that type of thing.
Okay.
But I've heard arguments either way, but typically, it's not an issue, especially if you're doing like a polyculture, which sounds like you're mostly doing tomatoes. You actually can go through it, and it's possible to deplete the soil of one thing or another. But if you're using some type of for example, one thing that is very gentle on your plants that you could feed them basically every day that would be considered a fertilizer would be like a worm compost or vermicompost tea. And all you do with that is you get you a 5-gallon bucket, get it filled with rainwater, and then add a little bit of molasses, take a stocking and put some, you can go down to the Tractor Supply and get a big bag of worm compost and put it in that sock, tie it up, and then hang it down in the water, put a bubbler in there. And
Now, what is a bubbler?
An aerator from a fish tank type thing. And it adds some biological, stuff to it as well. But if you go through it and you could make, and I've done at least 2 videos on how to make worm compost tea.
Welcome back, LP.
But it's very gentle.
Back up, Pete.
It's very gentle on your plants, and you could use it every day, literally, and it would feed them fertilizer.
Is what you're talking about worm castings?
Yeah,
I have a bag of worm castings.
you could use that. Get a little bit of molasses, and pour in there with it. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Just sugar for it to feed the biological organisms, and then go through and put a bubbler in there with it, an aerator, and let it sit 24 hours before you actually use it. And you can even cut it down if you got a whole lot of plants you're trying to feed. That's aerobic, I think, and then anaerobic. I'll do an anaerobic thing every year where I just take a big old, like a 50-gallon garbage can, and one of the rubber tub garbage cans, fill it full of rainwater, throw a little bit of Epsom salt, I throw a little bit of rabbit manure in there, and mostly weeds, grass clippings or weeds or, anything like that. What happens is it will leach out the nutrients, and and you can use that to feed as fertilizer as well. But that's anaerobic as opposed to aerobic.
Yeah.
And I may be getting those two confused, aerobic and anaerobic. But one of them is one, the other one is the other.
Okay. LP, thank you for coming back. And Katie's Kitchen, I think that's a pretty good idea about putting it in gallon jugs around the plant with holes, pinholes in the bottom.
Yeah.
That way, yeah, that is pretty good. Pretty good
Eddie, I'm
idea.
sorry. What time is your live, hun?
7.
And
Okay. 8 o'clock
48,
Eastern.
48
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see. I have worm bins in my basement and make lazy tea. Bucket of water, worm castings in a mesh bag for at least an hour. Well, heck, I can do this. I have 5-gallon buckets. And I have worm castings. I have hose. I have molasses, but I don't have an aerator.
Well, you could do what she's talking about, he or she is talking about, and that's, that will still add some nutrients. If you want some more or if you want some more biological involvement in it, which is a living soil, it benefits from that.
Yeah.
But you could do it, at some point, find yourself just an aerator. You can get one from Walmart or whatever. I don't think they're real expensive, but you may have to, the section that's pumping out the air, you may have to put a rock or something on it in the water so that it doesn't float up to the top.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a good idea.
It's
Very good idea.
it does really well for your plants.
Cool. She just gave me a great idea for another live. Okay.
LP, I think if you let it sit 24 hours, just my own opinion, if you let it sit 24 hours, it'd be, leach more nutrients. Of course, I use the worm castings once they're spent, as I throw them on top of the plants anyhow, or in,
Yeah.
I've also taken what is it? Never mind. I can't think of the word of it. I'm
I'll be
having
back
a
to you.
brain fart.
Okay. We just took lime because somebody said if you take lime and you put it around the plants in a slurry, then it should help it. Well, we left some that were not as bad as the ones that we took out, but just to see if it'll work. It's not going to hurt nothing because the plants already, some of them are already seem to be on their way out. The first time we ever had any problem was last year, and we took sisal, or not sisal, yeah, it was sisal rope or twine, to tie up the plants, and it seemed like within a day every one of them died. I mean, every one of them, and it had to been that sisal twine. So we thought, by golly, this year we're not going to let that happen. So I went, and my husband, well, Terry, he gets boxes of rags that are like from garment factories. That it's like it's not even garment factory; it's linens like from hospitals, and you can tear them and make ties with that. And let's see, what's that say? Can anyone verify? Yes, we've used Epsom salt in the garden too. Mix it with water too and put it around the bottom of the plant. But anyway, we thought, well, maybe that's what's doing it. They hadn't been washed or anything like that, because I always heard that you shouldn't use. I know you shouldn't use anything like a fabric softener on anything that you're going to use on the plant. So, let that. I thought, well, okay, it is what it is. But we also noticed that the tomato cages that we bought this year it's like every place that the plant touched, that's where it started dying.
Well, that could be very easily from the heat, soaking into that metal. Something that might help with that would be making sure that you're mulching the plant pretty well and going through and pruning. Just an
Yeah.
idea. I don't, I do use those tomato cages, but when we use them, typically it's not on the tomato plants. We usually use those on like pepper plants.
Yeah, that's actually I've got some around my peppers. The ones we had from past few years, they're smaller, but I put those around the peppers.
Yeah,
But
I'm not a big fan of the
I'm not.
tomato cages.
I'm not either. I went and bought two
Hey,
dozen.
D,
Yes.
I will see you around, okay?
Bye,
Okay,
TJ.
hon. See you over at Eddie's.
Bye. See ya.
Bye. Went and bought 2 or 3 dozen tomato steaks this year, and I think that's all I'm going to try to use again. Next year is just tomato steaks.
Yeah.
Yes, I have checked for aphids, and we have used diatomaceous earth dust. We've used slurry. We've used let's see, I can't remember which is for which, but we've used Daconil. No, I've never done a tomato tree. I don't know what that is. What else?
Cog Hill has used cattle panels.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here's-
well, I wanted to do cattle panels, but cattle panels are like $40-$50 a piece. And
Well,
I just didn't
yeah.
have them.
I
So,
wouldn't. Cattle panels, I mean, they have their benefit, especially if you're doing what's Japanese tomato ring. Something like that would work real well. But I shared a video screen. I want you to see my trellis.
okay, let me hold on.
It's fairly inexpensive too to build.
Where'd you go? There you are.
No,
Okay.
not me, but out beside me, it should have a thing with what looks like a it's a trellis. I shared the screen. It should be available to bring up.
Okay, hold on. Okay, got you.
All right. That is a 10-foot tall trellis.
Oh, yeah.
What I've done is I've taken electrical conduit. Actually, I happened to have some T-posts, so I drove those down into the ground just under 10 feet apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I strapped it was kind of hard to get it up there. But I went through and I tied off a 10-foot electrical conduit to it.
Yeah.
And then I put some PVC tees on the ends of them so that it'll hold it up. And then I put a 10-foot PVC tee between them. Not PVC, electrical conduit to it. And then I went through and took a string and I just dropped it down and put something where I could, like a nail or something, just to tie it into the soil. But it really doesn't even have to have that, because the weight of the tomato plants and
Keep the string down, they'll grow up the string.
right. And I've got what's known as tomato clips.
Yeah,
that
I've got some of those.
And those attached to the string, and the tomato, it will go around the tomato without binding the tomato vine. And
This is almost like what they do with tobacco plants.
this is I call this my Great Expectations trellis, and I did that, I guess, last year during the summer 27, 22, and I got it up to where they were, several of the tomato plants were up here almost to the top of that 10-foot.
Wow.
But I was single stemming them. I was pruning them.
Yeah.
We did this like this in the fields, and when I worked at the tobacco farm. They had I had it like that with the string across, or a wire across actually, and we turned around and tied the string to the base of the plant, and then we wrapped the bottom a little bit. Like as it got a little bit bigger, we twisted it around the plant.
Right.
But then it grew up the rest of the way on its own but it had the stability to stand up at a certain point.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to be distracting or anything. I just,
Oh,
you know,
no, you're fine.
there's so many different ways to make to trellis or to, you know, keep tomato plants up.
Mhm.
This particular one, they did really well until the point that Tammy thought I was watering them and I thought she was watering them. So we just kind of let them go and they died. But, you know, I was keeping up with it till they got about 9.5 feet tall. Some
Yeah.
of them.
Well,
And
another thing that we were discussing today was we need to stick to, you know, one or two varieties, probably one, because we've got several different varieties and we need not plant as many in there and close together because I mean they were probably, you know, 18, 20 inches apart, but that's not far enough.
no.
Not for what we're doing. I mean, we put out 50, I think 57 tomato plants this year.
Mhm.
And the peppers, the peppers that we grew, they're not taking off very good. The bell peppers are not taking off very good. They're working, you know, they're growing, but they're not producing very well. The jalapenos and the pepperoncinis, they're producing really good. But I think that where we planted them, the they're just being shadowed. You know, they're not getting enough sun. So I
Yeah.
think next year, what I'm going to do is, if you've seen my, I know it is a lot of tomatoes, believe me. Um, if you've looked at any of my videos of my upper 40 and my lower 40,
Mhm.
the lower 40, I think I'm going to make it primarily peppers, nothing else, just peppers down here on the bottom. And then up at the top, they'll just be the tomatoes. The
Hey, radio man.
yeah,
Oh, Radio Man, I'm so sorry. I know I worked in a tobacco field, cigar tobacco field for a couple of summers as a teen, and so we would have people, migrants, come in and plant them and get the fields and all that ready, and then we'd go in and sew the sorry, we'd go in and put the string and tie it here. Let me get me back on the camera. So we would tie the string at the bottom and then go in and twist to a certain point, and we'd do that field and hit the next field until it got to a certain point. Bring us back to the first field. We'd wrap some more up the line of the string, and then once all that was done, it was time to move us into the barns, and we would have machines with lats on them and string, and the string would do this, and we would have to take two stems and bring them up and sew them and tie them up, and then the guys would throw them up into the way up on the top of the barn and bring them all the way down. We get to a certain point, they would leave four girls behind with four machines to finish off the bottom two layers, and meanwhile other guys would be out in the field with baskets and poles, and they would pick the tobacco leaves, and we'd hit the next barn until the whole season was done and all the fields were picked. Then the migrants would go back in, take out all the old tobacco and get the fields ready for the following year, and then they'd come back in the summer, beginning of the summer or before summer started, and do it all over again. Get the fields ready, the rows ready, plant, and we'd come in and do what we need to do. And the cheesecloth would be put on top for shade because it'd be 105 in the shade, you know, underneath the cheesecloth. If we were outside the cheesecloth, it would be so much hotter. And then we'd do the whole field all the fields all over again. And I did
wow,
this up in Connecticut for 2 summers, for like almost 2.5 months.
wow.
Yep,
Mm,
yep. Hard work, very
yeah,
hot,
yeah.
very hot work, and the money was okay. It wasn't great, but I was able to get myself a bicycle one summer, a 10-speed, and then it got
Cool.
stolen.
Oh,
Yeah, you save up
wow.
for a Schwinn bicycle, back in the 80s and
Oh,
late
yeah.
70s, early 80s, and you'd go to school. I brought it down to Southwest Florida, to the high school that I was going to, and I chained it up really, really well with a good chain, and I'd come back and my bicycle was gone, and I'd have to call my aunt and say, I can't get home. I'm like 6 miles away. Can you come get me?
Hmm.
Because I'd be bicycling to school and home from school. Yeah,
No, I don't want any meat tonight. I just eat the
but
vegetables.
it was good work. It was just hard, very hard work. And let me
Yeah.
tell you, those migrants busted their butts.
Yeah.
Busted their butts.
I know Terry's done tobacco a lot here at his brother-in-law's
Yeah.
place. It's not fun. I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah. Cigar tobacco leaves, that's what we were sowing, getting ready, doing with the trellis like Gary was showing with his tomatoes. But we
Yeah.
went further up the line, further up till we couldn't get to a certain point anymore. And we would take the bush and we just go like this around the string to get to
Hmm.
a certain point, and then it would pop up through the top of the cheesecloth.
Wow.
It would push its way up when it got tall enough. And it was
So
time to harvest.
I have a question. Because I don't know. Is Radio Man and Jonesy the same person?
No.
No,
No. Okay.
they're
See,
not.
I thought they were. So
Hey.
sorry.
Hey, no.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I understand what you're talking about. We were doing when we were trying to do about a 5,600 square foot garden. We had about, I think it was 100, 150, maybe 200 tomato plants, and that's
Yeah.
that's a lot of work by itself. Let alone when you throw in some other things like cucumbers and some peas and okra, and that's an awful lot of work.
Yeah.
I've backed off a lot on what I'm doing this year. I'm just doing some peppers, and Tammy's doing some tomatoes. I think, and 1 or 2 watermelon plants. Next year, but Tammy right now is working on some compost piles,
Yeah.
and so we'll have a bunch of compost for next year, and
That's good.
I think we're going to try to do some raised bed gardening next year. Maybe I've got at least one bed out front that I made last year that is with concrete blocks for the edge, and
Mhm.
put cardboard underneath it to cardboard has a tendency to block out weeds and
Yeah.
still.
Well,
Yeah, that's
that's
what we
another
did. That's what we did in our backyard.
that's another thing I want to do up there too this fall, and I may do it before I put the manure down. Is put some. Well, you know what? I don't know though. Well, I'll have to think about that. Which would be better, to put the manure down first and then put the cardboard on it and cover it up, or put the cardboard down and then put the manure on it?
I would
Either way,
probably put the cardboard down first so that it would block the weeds.
Yeah.
And it also makes sure that the nutrition from the manure would be able to get. It was a huge garden, and that's one reason why I cut back. But that way, the nutrients will be more readily accessible by the roots. But I would throw some other stuff. A good combination if you want to make up your own like, well, like a raised bed garden soil.
Yeah.
You don't want the same soil. Of course, if you're doing it in ground, it doesn't really matter. But you could put it on. I just throw the manure on top, because as it rains and what have you, as it decomposes, it'll soak down into the ground. That's why if you ever look at least out at Mom and Daddy's place, if you take a shovel and dig just take one bite of it,
Yeah.
the top few inches are going to be, darker than as it gets further down, because there's a lot of clay down here.
Yeah.
And, but, and it does, there is something to be said about tilling at least the first time. But, when I started gardening back in 2020, we did two different types of garden. We did a above ground, no till, and all I did was take some cotton gin trash.
Mhm.
Gin trash, put it on top of the ground, set the plants. We used starch that year, and set those in the gin trash, made sure the gin trash was just up against and that was some of the prettiest tomatoes we had that year.
Now, what is gin trash?
It's just the trash you get once a cotton field has been, harvested.
Oh,
It-
okay.
You take the stems of the cotton plants and all that other kind of stuff and let it decompose. It's basically a type of compost, from what I can tell.
Okay.
But I just took gin trash and used that and just laid it on the ground, basically. My brother has done something similar in that he'll take bags of like Miracle Grow potting soil or something, and he'll throw it on just throw it on top of the ground, and bury the thing in that. I've done no-till, I've done traditional in-ground, I've done raised bed gardening, I've done container gardening, I've done, since we got started, I tend to be a bit obsessive. And so, between me and Tammy, we've done a bunch of different types of gardening. One of them that I have not done that I've looked into is like the hydroponics or aquaponics.
Yeah.
Either way, I would be more interested in the aquaponics, but I know Shirley does some hydroponics. She may even do some aquaponics, which is just hydroponics. Aquaponics is just adding fish to the circle and an enclosed loop.
Yeah.
But I tend to, at the moment, we've backed off a little bit on as much as I was doing. It's hard to take care of a 5,600 square foot garden.
Yeah.
And that just burnt me out because I was spending 4 or 5 hours, anywhere from 3 to 5 hours a day out there during the heat of the summer. Getting, that's hard work.
Yeah. Especially if you have a job and do it.
Well, that's what I was going. And that's another thing. You hear people, there's a lot of stories out there, and people tell you this and that about gardening. But the fact is, half of them are just telling you something that they've heard.
Yeah.
They tell you not to water your plants in the middle of the day. Well, they say because it'll burn your plants. Well, sure it will if you don't drain the garden or the hose out of all the hot water to begin with. But even then, they say because the hairs will stand up and there's a little bubble, and that ain't true. I mean, the fact is, tomato plants typically don't have a lot of hair-like structures on top of them. And, I've watered my plants, in the middle of the day. Why? Because that's the only time I could get out there. When you're up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you don't get home till midnight, and I got to drive.
I gotta help your brother find something.
Yeah, it's the fact is, when's the best time to water them? When you can.
Yeah.
So,
well, see, another thing was I wanted to get Terry a irrigation system, but he is afraid that when you go to till, it's just gonna kind of get caught up in it, and I understand that part of it too. But I mean, we've done really well as far as watering, because I got this little turtle that is a kind of like a garden sprayer, and we just hooked the turtle up and let it water, and then I just pull it back farther to get it closer to bring in to be done. But that's what I was going to say.
Exactly, LP.
Well, the thing with the rain is I mean, with me and the rain, and the difference in raining and watering it yourself is the water that you use yourself is chlorinated. And, it's, to me, it's harsher on the plants than if you just use rainwater. But I don't have a lot of, I don't have, right now, I don't have any barrels for rainwater.
Right.
So,
Well, here's something. If you find yourself going for a long time without any rain for it,
yeah,
you can't, because hey, believe me, that rainwater goes pretty quick when you hit a long
dry
period
spell.
of time without rain.
Yeah.
But if you go through, and you can actually go through and take city water, it's not going to be as good as the rainwater, but you can take city water and let it set out 24 hours. That'll get rid of some of the fluorine, chlorination, and then you can add I forget the ratio, but you can add vitamin C to it, and that'll get rid of something called, I think, bromides or something like that that's in city water.
Yeah.
It'll make it closer to natural. It's not perfect, but it's better than rainwater. You're right, LP. Rainwater is always better, but you can't always get even. Hey, I stacked up 10, 15 different 5-gallon buckets to catch the rain falling off the roof. And even when you get it, and you also run into the problem with, it starts turning green after a little while. So you can only hold it so long unless you put something in there, and that kind of defeats the purpose.
Well, another thing, we were talking about the aphids and stuff. I think the aphids came in, and I hate to say it, with the Miracle-Gro potting soil that I used.
Yeah.
Because we found them, when we seeded them or planted the seeds and they started growing, the aphids were on them then, on the seedlings.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that again next year. And then another thing was, I bought garden soil from Stay Green or something like that. And everything that I planted in the Stay Green garden soil is not as a dark green leaf. And it again is turning yellow down here in the lower 40. But now, just on the other path, or the other side of the path, where we got stuff that has been composted before and has, just been setting basically, and they wheelbarrowed it down and put it in.
Yeah.
Beautiful green. I mean, it's gorgeous plants.
Well, let me ask you this just real quick. Do you have where the leaves are yellow, is it consistent all the way through, or do you have some slightly more green along the ribs of the leaves on the plants?
No, when they turn yellow, they turn yellow all the way back to the stem, all the way back to the stem. So we're trying different things and to see if it brings it out of it, or what. Like I said, we're going to see how this lime slurry thing works in the next couple of days. This guy said that it was overnight. I don't believe it, but
Hey, Dave, do you ever watch The Rusted Garden?
No.
He might be somebody that you take a look at. He talks a lot about diagnosing, plants and what causes this and that and how to fix them.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in several things. See, bugs are attracted to weak damage. That's right. Late spring drought got me bad. Never been so many aphids. So there's something else though, that if you consider it now, granted, if all you're doing is tomatoes, you can't do it. No. But if you're growing multiple plants, for example, you're growing not only, I always try to grow basil with my tomato plants and try to grow, different. I mean, you could grow some potatoes or sweet potatoes or something else there along with it that takes up a completely different area. It's kind of like the old Three Sisters method, where you have the corn, the beans, and the corn, the beans, and the. I'm having a brain fart again, but if you use like a polyculture, which is multiple things in one area, it also helps to protect your garden, because then you don't. If you have a monoculture, which is all of one thing, when a pest comes in. When a pest comes in, he's just going to go from one to the next to the next to the next. Yeah. If you have multiple different types of plants that you're planting in one spot, then it confuses a lot of them or messes up their, and you may only lose one or two plants. Just like you could use trap plants. There's a lot of different methods for, and some things work probably better than others in different areas. The one thing I can tell you with certainty is that, if you're having an issue with deer, if you take a sweaty old t-shirt and throw it out there in the garden, well, just you could hang it off of one of the sticks, and that'll keep the deer out. But rotation is fine, but I don't think it's really necessary if you're using a small garden.
Yeah. Well, along our fence, we have the cucumbers. And then we have 2 rows of tomatoes. We have a row of peppers. And then we have 2 rows of tomatoes. And then we have 2 rows of beets. On the outside of the end is zucchinis. And on the other end, I've got some onions and well, I did have some cucumbers until the deer ate it the other day.
A sweaty t-shirt or some dirty socks will probably keep those deer away from them.
Well, I'll tell you what we were doing, and it was working fine until this doe come along, and she's a dumb doe. Well, she's not dumb. She's pretty smart. But we have a swimming pool, and when Terry would get out to go to the bathroom, he would use a bucket. And then we would take the urine and, spray it around the bottom of the garden on the outside. So, groundhogs. I think Terry had a serial. We always kidded his dad, said his dad had serial numbers on all his tomatoes, especially the big ones. But we had this one that was growing. I swear it was probably this big. It had to be at least a 2 to 3 pound tomato. And I told Terry, I said, it looks like it needs to go another day or so. Well, it wasn't there this morning. So I'm figuring the groundhogs probably got it. Because the deer couldn't get into it. It was too big for a rabbit. So it's had to have been a groundhog. So or a skunk. We've got skunks around here too.
There was a channel that I've watched that talked about having a fence here and then another fence in here. So you have one out towards the outside, and then you have one that's spaced about 9 inches and raised up. What this fencing thing was talking about is, if you have a big garden, is doing that. Deer don't have depth perception. So they don't know how high they have to go to clear this fence. There has not been a deer in that field at all where this lady is planting, because they did this kind of a stacked method, where you have a fence here and then you have one that's higher on the inside.
Yeah.
Well, deer can jump about 8 feet.
But this thing is, because of the way it's designed, how they set one in. They haven't figured it out.
And by the way, I'm keeping an eye on the time.
Gardner Scott has a pretty good video. If you're curious about some other methods, Gardner Scott has a pretty good video about keeping deer out of your your garden. And
Yeah.
the way he puts it is just that you want to make it more troublesome for the deer than it is to go and get something from somewhere else. Otherwise, you know, if they really want to get in there, the chances are a lot of times they will. But the way he did it to some degree is deer are have to be very protective over themselves. And if they, yeah, I do too. He's got good stuff. But he's with a fence and then put other things up in the ground, whether it be a stone, you know, thing or one of those little metal things that holds flag or, you know, all these different things around so that it will, he has to question that deer has to judge when he can see that stuff over there. And unless you put like a 10-foot fence up there, he's going to be able to jump it. I've also seen where I've seen people put fishing line out. I've seen people do all sorts of things to try and keep deer out of the garden. I do know that, you know, when I granted it is, excuse me, it's anecdotal. In other words, the information that I have has just been, you know, I've seen it for me. Now, whether it works that way for somebody else, I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of different circumstances and situations that people are in that it change from one to the other. But for me, every time I went and worked in the garden, I just took a sweaty shirt and threw it out there. One of the first things, if you ever try hunting, one of the first things they try to do is get rid of any smell, any smell of humans, because the deer will catch a whiff of that and they'll run.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if you have a sweaty shirt, if you're working in the garden every day, you've got a sweaty shirt or sweaty socks or whatever. If you're wearing socks, but you know, and it's not that hard for me. I just would take my shirt off right there, put it where my right beside where my other shirt was from yesterday, and I'd take the old shirt and put it on. Now, I don't expect women to do that unless they just really brazen, but you could always, you know, have a 2-day delay or something where you take the shirt out there you wore yesterday and the one you had the day before yesterday was on there or something.
Yeah.
Cog Hill Farm did it differently. They put prayer flags up on fence posts high enough above the fence around the garden, and they put it up high enough, and the flag waving deters the animals from coming to the over.
Well, like I said, the urine thing worked for a while until this doe come along, and this doe, she brazen. You know what I mean? She don't care. But she ate probably, well, she ate one of my peppers, she ate my cucumbers, and the tops off of one of my tomato plants that I've been working so hard to keep. So
anyway. It's a good question, LP. I don't know, other than just try different things and don't rely on one particular method if you can help it. I know that for us, the sweaty t-shirt, at the beginning of the season, we see deer tracks, and once I started doing that, we didn't see any more deer tracks. So we were able to harvest. They didn't mess with our watermelons, any of the melons. They didn't mess with, you know, the cucumbers, the peas, the tomatoes. Biggest issue we had, I guess, ended up being blossom end rot on the tomatoes. And I know
I've had a couple, and we put rot stop on them, you know, to deter that. But well, I have thoroughly enjoyed talking garden with you, Gary. I would appreciate if you come back again and we do it again.
More than happy to.
It's very, very informational, and I think it's a lot of good information that other people can use, not only me, but everybody can, you know, give their suggestions or, you know, whatever. I would thoroughly enjoy it.
Well, I will tell you this. My wife has been a master gardener for like 9 or 10 years. I took the courses a couple of years ago, probably 2021. And I never committed the time that's required to be considered a master gardener, but I have studied hundreds and hundreds of hours
Yeah.
on gardening, so
Yeah.
I know a little bit,
Okay.
and I'm
Well,
more than
guys,
happy to talk.
I am going to knock this off because LP, I hope you come back because I've enjoyed your input too, and everybody else that's been in here. I've thoroughly enjoyed talking to everybody, and I hope you come back, Radio Man. Come back and talk with us again. Lord, it's been very informational. I've learned some stuff, and more. I've learned some people to go check out too. So. I hope everybody has a great evening. Y'all jump over to Devil Dogs.
I'm going to post his link right now.
Live, thank you. And jump over there and support Eddie and see what's going on over there tonight. But James, hey, you all come back. I appreciate it. James, I didn't even know you were in there. But hey, come back. I appreciate you coming over. And we will talk to everybody again. You all have a great evening and give somebody a smile. And, you never know, they might be having a bad day. But if you've not subscribed, I hope you subscribe. And I hope you hit that like button. And if you have subscribed or whatever, just, hit the bell so you'll know anytime that we start going live or we do a video. You'll be notified. So I thank you all for coming in, and let's go over and support Eddie. Y'all have a good evening. And guess what?
Make sure you're off.
Well, I'm trying, but I'm buffering.
Eddie, we need you.
Hey, just
Don't
hit
say
the
anything.
end. Just hit the end live.
Here we go.
Why?
I got it. Y'all have a good evening. Thanks. And in